Hello and welcome to this Hatha class. Come on in, find a seat, come down onto your mat, find your space onto your mat. I invite you to take a few moments to find stillness on your mat. So coming into easy pose if you're sitting up straight. For the next few moments, we're going to find ourselves going into a deep meditation to help guide us throughout the rest of this class. So sitting in easy pose with your ankles meeting each other. If you're starting off with your left, bringing your left ankle in front of your right ankle is in behind on the inside. Your hands are placed onto your thighs or onto your knees, palms facing up. If you choose, your nice tall spine as well, straight spine. Or if you choose to lay down, feel free. If you're laying down, coming down onto your back, leaving your knees up if you need to find stillness and rest within your spine, taking care of your back. Or if you feel more comfortable, feeling free to stretch your legs out. Your hands can be placed onto your belly, your right hand on your belly, your left hand over your heart. Arms out to your sides, palms facing up, or tee out your arms, palms facing up. Whatever's most comfortable and most beneficial for you, finding that space. Okay, as we find this space, I invite you now to close your eyes. And I invite you to take 3 deep breaths with me. We're going to inhale through our nose, holding your breath at the top only if you wish for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, holding for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling through your mouth. Great. One more time together. Inhale through your nose. Hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale through your mouth. Good. Okay, now I invite you to find your own natural rhythm for 3 breaths. We're not trying to change it, we're just observing where our breath is at. On your next in-breath, I invite you now to imagine a set of roots growing deep down into the earth. With every inhale, those roots are growing deeper down into the earth, growing through the mud and the muck, the water and the sand, until you find the center of the earth, until you find the lightness in the center of the earth. We must grow through the mud and the muck and the sand and the water and the shadow in order to find this nutrient-dense light. This light that is within all of us at all times. Finding that balance between the shadow and the light. That shadow is just as helpful to us as is that light. All the nutrients are in the soil, in the water. And of course, we find other nutrients within the light. sending them around the world, making a circle with all of your roots, interconnecting and intertwining with everyone else on the earth, with all beings of the planet, animals, plants, and humans alike. And any other beings. Knowing that we are fully supported by each other. We are connected to each other because we are the same. We are all together, supporting and healing and teaching each other. Teachings may not look like sunshine. They may look like thunderstorms or tornadoes. They may appear to be creating chaos. But they are lessons that we need to learn in this cycle. And the sun will always return. From here, I invite you to create a space that brings you the most ease and joy and comfort. Maybe you've seen this place in a magazine, or in a movie, or maybe you've been here before. Or maybe this space is in your imagination. I invite you to create this space now. Down here in the center of the earth, that's filled with beautiful, glorious light. Finding and bringing in as many details as is possible for you. An example is there a chair there for you? Or are you laying or sitting on the ground with your bare feet connected into the earth? Or are you on a porch in a hammock, overlooking something, overlooking a beach? Or maybe you're overlooking a jungle. And it doesn't have to make sense. You can bring in anything you wish. So for example, you may be overlooking the Atlantic Ocean on the cliffs of Ireland. And maybe there's an elephant with you, or a giraffe. It doesn't have to make sense. It's whatever brings you peace, joy, and comfort and security. Holding on to this space as we work through the rest of this class. Knowing that we are supported with the light that's within this space. From here, I invite you now, as we inhale, I invite you to absorb this light, sending this light up through those roots and into our body. And this light may be any color of your choosing, or it may be multiple colors. So maybe it's gold, or maybe it's silver or white light, or maybe it's any other color of the rainbow. Imagining that light coming up those roots, supporting your body as it reaches your body, supporting you through and protecting you and guiding you for the rest of this class and forever. So inhaling, reaching your feet, filling you up on the inside, from the top, from your feet to the top of your head, and everywhere in between. And as we exhale, sending this light out through the top of your head and flowing down over you like a water fountain, keeping you sacred, protected, compassion. Okay, on our next inhale, if you're laying down, I invite you to come into your body. And I invite you to turn on to your right side. And just breathe here for a few breaths. If you're sitting, I invite you to remain seated with your eyes closed for a few more breaths. On your next inhale, I invite you, those that are laying down, I invite you to take your right hand and press your body up, using your core muscles, engaging your core muscles, coming on up to a seat. Finding yourself in easy pose. Coming on back and opening your eyes if they are not yet open. Hands on your knees, palms facing up, facing open, open to receiving, open to the light. Okay, on your next inhale, I invite you all to blink your eyes open. Sitting nice and tall, straight spine, core engaged, sitting in easy pose. I invite you here now to find, let's do some shoulder circles first. So hands down by your sides, on the sides of your legs. As we inhale, we're bringing our shoulders up towards our ears, only as far as it needs to go, as is comfortable going. And as we exhale, we're going to go back and down. Good. So let's do 6 more of these. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. So coming up, if you want to clench your hands, you can. Exhale, back and down, letting go of those hands. 2 more. Inhale, shoulders up. Back and down as we exhale. 1 more. Good push. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. Good. Shake it out. Find some release within your arms, within your hands. Stretch up to the sky if you need. As we exhale, coming back down. Now let's do some gentle neck rolls to get ready for the rest of this class. So on your next inhale, I invite you to look down towards the floor, bringing your chin towards your chest, keeping your core engaged at all times throughout this class as much as possible. And as we exhale, coming on back to center. Inhale, let's start to look over our right shoulder now. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, turning to the left now, looking over your left shoulder or looking in line with your left shoulder, And as we exhale, bringing our minds and our hearts and our heads back to center. Good. Inhale, and if it's accessible for you, looking up towards the ceiling, going as far as safe for your body. If you have a hypermobile condition, please do not put your head up, as this can cause injury to your neck, because your neck is more mobile than the average person, and this can cause damage. So if you have a hypermobile condition, just looking up towards the ceiling, doing a micro movement of your neck backwards. And as we exhale, coming back to center now. Good. Let's do 2 more full rounds of each. On your own own time. So every inhale is a movement. Every exhale is returning to center. This is nice and slow and controlled. So if you are still finding dizziness with this, I invite you to either slow down even further or stop altogether and rest in easy pose until we move to the next posture. Or if you wish, feel free to sit in child's pose. Last round. And if you mixed up the order, it's okay, just go with it. Okay, once you've completed your circles, coming back to center, I invite you now to sweep your legs out in front of you. Uncrossing your legs, giving them a good shake. That might have been sore, they might be tired. Give them a good shake and we'll tap your feet. Okay. On your next inhale now, I invite you, we're going to do some gentle spinal twists. So putting your hands down onto the floor beside you, I invite you to inhale, taking your right leg, crossing it over to the inside, to the outside of your left knee, keeping your foot flat on the floor. Nice deep inhale, engaging that core. Right arm goes up as we exhale, bringing it down onto the inside of our right knee. And you can, if you wish, you can bring that hand down towards your foot. Inhale, looking behind you and straightening out that left hand behind you. And looking, you can either look behind you or you can look to the side. And let's just hold this here for a minute. Let's hold this for 10 breaths. Keeping your core engaged as much as you can. Okay, on your next inhale now, I invite you to slowly start coming back to center. Exhale. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, bringing it back down to the side of your body and releasing your left hand. Inhale, bringing that right leg back over to center and straighten that right leg back out. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So inhale, left leg, left foot over to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, left arm up to the sky, placing your right arm behind you. Exhale, begin to twist, lowering your elbow down to the inside of your left knee. As we exhale, bringing that hand down to your ankle, or to your shin, or to your right thigh, or leaving that hand up, whatever you wish to do. reaching that right hand back behind you and looking behind you, or again, if it causes too much strain on your neck, feel free to look to the side. Keeping your core engaged, keeping your spine protected as we do this gentle twist for 9 more breaths. Finding stillness, finding ease in your movements. Two more breaths. On your next inhale, I invite you to start to unwind, bringing your right hand forward next to you to support your body. Exhale, your left arm away from your knee. Inhale, bringing your left foot back to center. Exhale, sliding that knee back down. For our next postures, I invite you to sweep your legs out to the right and behind you as we inhale and as we come up into tabletop, finding your nice, tall, strong table. If you wish, I invite you to tuck your toes underneath you, or if you wish, you can leave them flat behind you. As we inhale, we're going to do some cat-cows now. So as we inhale, we're going to arch our back and look up towards the ceiling, opening up our chest with our arms 90 degrees in line with our shoulders. Our wrists are in line with our shoulders. And if you need to, feel free to come up onto the sides of your hands if this is hurting your hands. Or you can place a block underneath your hands to give your hands and your wrists some support. Your hips are in line with your knees, and your knees are stacked and nice and straight, engaging your core. Again, as we inhale, we're arching our back, our hips are up towards the sky. Then as we exhale, we're going to start to curl down and stretch out like a cat would. So as we inhale again, we're going to switch and come into cow, looking up towards the ceiling, feeling that nice stretch in your abdominals as we have our core engaged. And as we exhale, we're coming down and looking through our knees, looking through to our feet, engaging that core. Inhale, nice deep open. Exhale, back to center. Back to cat. Looking between your knees. Nice, strong, steady arms. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do 4 more of these on your own time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. 1 more. Inhale. Nice open straight chest. Not straight, open chest. As we exhale, coming back into cat. And let's take a minute here to strong tabletop. And if you untucked your feet, feel free. I invite you to tuck your feet now, tuck your toes. As we sit here in strong tabletop. Straight spine, strong spine. On your next inhale, I invite you to untuck those toes and invite you to widen your knees out to the edge of your mat and touch your two big toes together. Exhale. As we inhale, I invite you to slide back into child's pose, active child's pose, bringing your elbows to your mat, to the floor, and bringing your forehead to the floor. Exhale. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Squaring off your hips. As we exhale, coming back into your child's pose, active child's pose. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Exhale, back down into child's. Inhale, up. Exhale, back down. Let's do this 5 more times on your own time. And you may find yourself getting closer and closer to your seat, touching your heels, and that's great. And if it's not happening, that's okay too. It's just something to be aware of, that it might happen. Slow and controlled. Keeping that core nice and engaged. Two more. Exhale, one more. And let's stay here in active child for a breath, for 3 breaths. Find that sweet release. Allowing your belly to be massaged by your thighs. And your next inhale, coming on back up to tabletop. Bring your knees closer together, hip distance apart. Nice, tall, strong, straight spine. Shoulders with a micro bend in your elbows if you need. Inhale, I invite you to tuck your toes. And as we exhale, I invite you to come back, push your way back up, walk your way back. And come up onto your heels. And come into a low squat. And sit back onto your heels, straight or flat feet. Inhale, bringing your hands into prayer. If you can only stand onto the front of your feet, that's okay too. Finding your balance, pushing your hands in prayer, elbows resting on the insides of your thighs. And let's hold this here for 6 breaths. Straight spine if you can. Okay, 3 more breaths. Last breath, deep inhale here. And as we exhale, now I invite you to place your palms in front of you onto the floor. as we inhale, I invite you to pop up, coming to a stand, finding a bend in your knees, a deep bend or micro bend, whatever you need. Hands on the floor. And let's stand here for 4 breaths. Last hanging, allowing your head to be neutral, not being held. Yes, no. One more breath. As we inhale now, I invite you to halfway lift. Exhale back down to the floor. Inhale, hands in prayer. Rising up to the top. Vertebrae by vertebrae, coming on up. Last to stand, rise is your head. Inhale, arms up to prayer, looking up at your thumbs. Exhale, back a little bit, back bend. Inhale, back, hands, prayer to center. Okay, I invite you now to stand in Tadasana. So you're coming to the front of your mat. Coming to the front of your mat. Feet firmly planted into the floor, hip distance apart, in line with your hips. Nice, tall, straight spine, engaging your core muscles. As we inhale, bringing our arms out, palms facing the center, facing open. And let's take 4 breaths here. Feeling strong in your feet. You're solid, you're not going anywhere. You're squared off, your hips are squared off. You're in line. One more breath. And as we exhale, returning your palms into the center, bringing your hands down to your sides. So for our next posture, we're going to do our warrior 2. So I invite you to take a step back with your right foot, keeping your left foot forward, and turn your right foot 80 or 45 degrees. So taking as wide of a stance as you feel is comfortable for you. So maybe way out here is comfortable for you. Maybe you want to be a little bit closer, whatever you need to do, but keeping that left foot, keeping that right foot 45 degrees. Okay, inhale, arms out to the sides now, completely in line, shoulders 90 degrees. Your arms and shoulders are in line. As we exhale, we're going to turn our hands so our thumbs are pointing towards the ceiling. And let's just stay here for a moment, bending your left knee. Nice and tall, nice and strong. Engage that core, keeping this posture straight and tall. Looking over our left shoulder, or our left thumb. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. And as we exhale now, I invite you to straighten out that left knee and resting your hand on your left shin. And as we bring our right arm up towards the sky, pointed towards the sky, looking up at our right hand. And if you wish, this is where you can place a block here on the floor, touching the floor, and on the inside of your left foot. Or you can reach out and touch the floor instead of your leg. But we want to keep that leg straight. And looking up at this hand for 4 breaths. Looking up at your right arm. your next inhale, I invite you to start to come back up, using those core muscles so you're not hurting your back. Now we're going to switch sides. So inhale, turn your left foot in 45 degrees, and turn your right leg, your right foot towards the center, leaving your arms out. Inhale, looking over our right shoulder now, looking down our right hand and our right thumb. Inhale, 4 breaths here. Having that bend in your right knee. Your hips are squared off and straight, if that's what's applicable for you. If you have any hip injuries, let's stop that from happening. Just being mindful. On your next inhale, let's straighten out that right leg, reaching down with our right hand, raising the left hand to the sky, looking up at your thumb, and let's hold here for 5 breaths. Finding a micro bend in that knee if you need to. And your next inhale, come back to center, and turn and bend that leg again, bend that right leg again, knee. Looking down at your thumbs on your right side. Inhale, come on back to center, straightening out that leg. Exhale, bring the right foot 45 degrees. And bringing your arms down to our sides. Give your arms a little shake if you need, some somatics. Okay, now we're going to step out a little bit wider with our feet. So from here, I invite you to inhale, pivot your feet out. Exhale, let your heels match your feet. So we're going to do inhale, hands to prayer, your heart center. Nice deep breath here. And as we exhale, I invite you to swan dive down towards the center and resting your hands on the floor in front of you. Your head is nice and loose and free. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Little micro bend in your knees if you need to. And let's just hold here. If your hands are too close, you can feel free to grab onto your elbows. Engaging that core, making sure your spine is nice and protected. And we're going to hold this for 4 breaths. And your next inhale, straightening up those knees if you had a bend in them. Inhale, coming back to center, hands in prayer at your heart center. As we exhale, inhale, bring your feet back together. Exhale, turn back to the center of the room, into the center of your mat, front part of your mat. Exhale. Inhale, heart, arms up to the sky in prayer. Little bend in your back. As we exhale, swan dive forward. A little forward fold, hands on the floor. Again, if you need, feeling free to grab your elbows. One more breath here. As we exhale, coming back into plank, finding a plank. Nice straight spine, straight body. Shoulders in line with your wrists. Making any adjustments you need. As we exhale, bringing our knees down to the center, down to the mat. And bringing your body down to your mat. From here, I invite you to go into crocodile. So feet flat behind you. And placing your arms, your left hand on top of your right hand. In a 90 and a 45-degree angle. Placing your forehead onto your hands. And let's breathe here for 3 breaths. Feeling free if you want to look to your right or to your left. Okay, on your next inhale now, I invite you to place your hands underneath you, underneath your shoulder, tucking your elbows in towards your ribs, kind of like a grasshopper. Inhale, we're going to go up to cobra, finding the cobra that's right for you, feet flat behind you, finding as high as you want to go. Engaging that core, keeping those elbows locked in, not locked in, but nice and tight with you. Going as far as is comfortable for you. Now let's hold this for 3 breaths. Okay. On your next exhale, coming back down. And release your arms, bringing out your arms in front of you if you wish. Forehead to the floor. On your next inhale, I invite you to come on up to cobra and find your plank, whether that's on your knees first or not. Bring your knees back down to your mat. Exhale, sit back on your heels. Inhale, bringing your feet out to the left. Swinging them out in front of you. And from here, taking a wide-legged stance, we're going to find our forward fold. So as far as wide as you feel comfortable with. Inhale. And as we exhale, start to walk your hands forward. Resting your elbows on the floor in front of you. If you want to have a block here to place your forehead, you can. Engaging that core, activating those muscles. You'll find this exercise, you'll find this posture, stretching out your thighs and your hamstrings, and maybe your hip flexors and your lower back. 3 breaths here. One more deep breath here. And your next inhale, I invite you to walk your way back up to center. And exhale, bringing your legs together. We're going to do one more fold. Inhale. And as we exhale, start to walk your way forward. With your hands down by your sides, the sides of your legs. If you wish, if you can reach, looping your pointer finger and reaching with your thumb around your big toes. Grabbing a hold of your big toes and just hold here. Or if you're more comfortable, you can rest your hands down by your shins. Listening to your body, finding your fire, finding your balance. Three more breaths here. Good. On your next inhale, let go of your toes if you're holding on to them. And walk your way back up from wherever you're at. Let your spine come up last. One more brief posture before we go into our final Shavasana. So I invite you to lay back onto your back. Lay down onto your back. Keeping your knees up. And feet in line with your ankles. Nope. Feet in line with your knees. Inhale, I invite you to take your right foot and cross it over your left foot, your left knee, just above your left knee. And rest here if this is where you want to stay. You want to challenge yourself a little more. You can press with your hands into your right knee. If you want to go a little further, I invite you to loop your right hand through your right leg and bring your left foot off the floor. Clasp your hands beneath your left knee and try and bring your left knee to your center, to your heart, to your chest. And let's hold this for 5 breaths. Keeping your head nice and relaxed, your neck nice and loose. We don't want to find any strain in the neck. More breaths. And your next inhale, I invite you to release those hands if that's where you were. Or if you're here, if you're at the center already with your right foot over your left knee, I invite you to take your right foot and bring it back down to the mat. Now we'll do the other side. So inhale, left ankle over your right knee. Inhale, exhale. And if you wish to go further, go to where you feel most comfortable. Now let's hold here for 5 breaths, excuse me. Feel that pull in our hip flexors and in our glutes. Next inhale, gently release that. Release your legs, bringing your right ankle, foot back down to the floor, your left foot, back down to the floor. And I invite you to find your final Shavasana posture, laying on your back. Knees can be up to support your back if you need, or straightening out your feet, whatever you need. Inhale, arms out to the sides, palms facing up. on socks if you wish. Putting on a blanket, whatever you need to find. Finding sacredness. And if you wish, you can also have your hands on your belly if you wish. Let's start to silence and bring down. You did a great class. You've done a lot of energy work today. You've done amazing. Giving yourself that encouragement and that pat on the back for showing up today for yourself, for being here for you, for doing the work. And let's take 3 deep breaths together with your eyes closed or downcast if you're more comfortable. Nice deep inhale through your nose, holding at the top if you wish for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling through your mouth. Good. Inhale through your nose. Hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale through your mouth. Good. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale through your mouth. Finding your centeredness, finding yourself sliding into a deeper state of meditation, finding yourself able to relax if you can. I invite you to find 3 breaths at your own natural rhythm. As we start to find stillness in our mat. And your next inhale, I invite you now to return to the center of the earth, traveling back down those roots, down to the center of the earth, back down to the space that you created in the beginning of this class. Honoring this space, honoring yourself for creating it. And gratitude for the shadow of finding our way down here to finding the light. Gratitude for balance of light and shadow. Taking a moment to find ease before we say goodbye to this space. As we leave this space, knowing that at any time, day or night, we can come back to it, no matter where we are. And as we start to come back up those roots now, saying goodbye to this space for now, knowing that the light remains within us at all times, it is everlasting, cannot be extinguished. We carry this light within ourselves. As we make our way back up into our bodies now, I invite you now to take a brief moment to find yourself floating above yourself, floating to the ceiling, floating through the roof, floating through the sky, floating into the atmosphere. Taking a moment some light to her. Sending some love and some compassion and some wisdom and some guidance over the earth and her people. The animals, the plants, the trees, the lakes, the rivers, the seas. Sending love and compassion to the earth, over the earth. Sending her healing. Knowing that you are supported by billions around you. Knowing that your guides and your angels and your loved ones guide you as you offer this energy, as you offer this light. Allowing you to absorb this light as you are part of this earth. Allow yourself to receive this gift and energy and light and compassion. As we start now to return to our bodies, returning to the sky, reaching the tree line, and back into the roof, to the ceiling, and back into your body. I invite you to repeat after me, either out loud or to yourself. Inhale this brief mantra. Inhale. I am loved. I am loved. I am enough. 2 more times. Inhale. I am loved. I am loved. I am enough. Good. 1 more time. Inhale. I am loved. I am loved. I am enough. Because words are magic, I invite you to feel these words slide down your throat and melt over your heart center. If you're not prepared to hear these words yet or believe in these words yet, I invite you to think of it as a possibility. To open that door for a possibility of feeling these words. For these words are the truth. You are divinely loved. You are the embodiment of love, and you are more than enough. On your next inhale, I invite you to imagine yourself, or to bring yourself back into your body fully. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Starting to feel and be aware of your surroundings. On your next inhale, wherever you are, bring your knees up towards the center of the mat. As we exhale, I invite you to turn over onto your right side, resting your head onto your right arm. Curl into the fetal position. Take 3 breaths here. And on our next inhale, I invite you to use your left hand to engage your core and push yourself back up to a seat. And find easy pose. Spine nice and strong, tall. Engaging that core. Opening our eyes now, blinking our eyes open. Inhale, I invite you to place your palms together in prayer in front of your face, your thumbs pointed towards your lips. And as we exhale, I invite you to press your palms together, pushing your elbows out and bringing your hands down to your heart center.